Mark Green is here, former Ranger, Special Operations Flight Surgeon, now Chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Good to see you, Leland.
All right. Is there even a plan to pressure the negotiations to begin?
Not that I'm aware of. Not
Should there be?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Why is it?
Well, it's supposedly over. You know, Putin has lost, according to the president. So I think it is time to sit down and start talking about it. But remember, this is an administration that never had a strategy, a stated strategy for the whole thing in the first place. So just because he says it's over, I wouldn't expect him to take any actions.
It seems to be that we've had this very moving target in terms of what the end state looks like. At one point, it was a secure and sovereign Ukraine, and pushing Vladimir Putin back and bloodying his nose to the point that it says, hey, you can't do this around the world. And I think even at the time, you agreed that there was value in that.
Yeah, that's one of the many reasons. I mean, there were others, like deterring China with Taiwan.
Right.
Right. So it's beyond just Ukraine. But yes, that was one of the stated goals.
Right. But then all of a sudden, somewhere along the way, we got into this idea that Ukraine should decide for itself with our money how this was going to end. And by that, it was Jake Sullivan who all of a sudden put in this idea that Ukraine needs to have territorial integrity. Therefore, Ukraine gets to decide when they begin negotiations. At what point does the blank check end?
Well, the blank check ended when Republicans took over the House. I mean, we're not writing a blank check anymore. We want complete transparency, and we want to see every single thing that's shipped over there. And there's no guarantee that we're going to say yes to anything.
There's no guarantee, but it seems as though the president has staked his, at least foreign policy, legacy on this and appears willing to fight for it. Wars that ended through negotiation, World War I, Korean War, Vietnam War, Gulf War. The president's defenders will come on, and they have, because we've asked him about this, and said, look, you cannot negotiate with Vladimir Putin because he's not going to keep his deals, and who knows, Ukraine could have this major breakthrough and somehow reconquer its whole country, on and on and on and on. At some point, don't the people paying for it have a say?
Yeah, I would think so. Absolutely. America.
Why don't you think they're willing to twist that arm?
I think they just haven't gotten there yet. Honestly, they're not thinking ahead. They have no strategy. They have no end game. A strategy means you've defined what the end state should look like before you get started. We never did that. And that's why we're bumbling along. They bumbled along with their implementation of weapon systems and support. It was all stair-stepped. They stair-stepped the sanction. Everything they're doing is without thought or planning.
Well, the one thing that I think nobody expected was that it was going to go on this long and we were going to send them as many weapons as we have. At what point does the depletion of our own stockpiles, and the president sort of alluded to this at one point, begin to affect U.S. national security?
So there are numbers that are set and decided by the Defense Department. Now, the question is, and we have those numbers, they're classified, right? We get to that number, we can't go below it. So it should never jeopardize our national security because we know the number we need. And so I can't.
Yeah, you hope that it's enough. I guess we all have to.
Yeah. Well, our problem, one of the lessons learned here is our industrial-based pipeline, we've got to increase the diameter and the flexibility of that pipeline to produce what we need in a hurry.
Not only the most advanced stuff, but the more simple stuff.
That's exactly right.
All right.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.